Hello. I'll try to make this easy for you guys. I know it's getting late. This bottle of Passata holds the answer to a sustainable way of living and the key to happiness. When you find your Passata, you'll find there's lots in it for you, there's lots in it for us, and it'll make our cities more sustainable, and it's better for the environment. First up, the product. These are both bottles of tomato sauce, but they're very different. One is mass-produced. It's a bottle of Dolmio's, by the way. I don't know if you can see it. And it could belong to anyone. The other is a bottle of Passata, and it belongs to us. It was made by Sydneysiders, and it carries a story about sustainability. Passata, for those who don't know, is tomato puree. It's made in Italy, and here people get together at the end of summer when there's a glut of sweet, ripe tomatoes to bottle and preserve it so they can cook with tomatoes all year round. But as industrial agriculture and food production takes hold, it's a dying art. Now, I'd like you to try something with me, and you can carry this with you tonight. Put your drink-free hand up and give me a thumbs up, and say, "Passata's made by people." And put your thumb down and say, "Dolmio's made by robots." Thank you. And this brings us to people. These people, Laura and Jess, decided that the art of Passata making was something worth holding on to. Even in a world where we can get tomatoes all year round, they knew something wasn't right. By the way, if you've ever eaten a tomato from the supermarket in winter, you'll know something's wrong with that. Friends don't let friends eat out of season. The bottles you see here are recycled beer bottles, and these people attended a pre-Passata Day party. It was in this amazing warehouse in Surrey Hills. We were drinking Cooper's long necks. It was a little bit hipster, unfortunately, but it was awesome, and it built anticipation around the day. So with this party and by telling a compelling story about the importance of Passata, Jess and Laura managed to convince these people, plus 20 friends, family, neighbours, all busy people with their own things on, to take time out on their weekend and join them for Passata Day. Now let me take you through the process, because it was like we went to Passata school. We went out to a farm in Bargo. We learned how to chop, boil, press, churn, bottle, everything that goes into turning 300 kilograms of tomatoes into 300 bottles of Passata. The tomatoes went through this Passata machine. Very messy, but very fun. It was nearly zero waste. We had to figure out what to do with 3 massive boxes of tomato skins and seeds. Our Italian expert told us that their family used to feed it to the chooks, but we didn't have any chooks, so we sun-dried it, and now we have packets of tomato flakes, sun-dried, which are delicious. We ate fresh pasta, made with last year's Passata, and it was one of the most beautiful meals I've ever eaten. It tasted amazing, and I think it had a lot to do with how knackered we were and how much effort and love we knew had gone into it. Now compare this to out-of-season tomatoes in unseen cold storage rooms, mass-produced bottles with no backstory that give us no clue as to how this stuff is actually made. Products shipped thousands of kilometres around the world in the name of efficiency and profitability. And you'll begin to see why Passata Day is so significant. And yes, it's about the environment. Yes, it's about our broken food system. But if it was this stuff alone, I wouldn't be up here telling you about it. This has huge payoffs for you. Let me take a guess at your agenda. You're super busy. You're hanging out for your next holiday. Many of us would dream about a trip to Italy on a gourmet food tour. Well, we learned how to make Italian tomato sauce from Italians. You could drop $10,000 on a trip to Italy and you would not have as authentic an experience as we did that day. Yes, you've got a lot on your plate, but have you got too much on to actually look at what makes you happy? This incredible cultural experience, this connection and community and fun was right here under our noses. So what other experiences haven't we tapped? What else could be like Passata Day? Finding your Passata is working on your own agenda. And when you start working on your agenda, you're working on our agenda. Making our city more sustainable actually gives us all what we selfishly want. The exciting thing about Passata Day is that it represents people getting together and working on something that isn't their job, yet makes the most of their skills and helps them reach their potential and helps us all out. So sustainable cities. So sustainable cities, it's happening. We're on board with all these issues. We're a community, so no one's doing this alone anymore. And we're effective. Many of the things happening in Sydney today were out of the question just a few years ago. We have Clover Moore as our mayor. We have bike lanes that are almost connected to each other. Passata solved so many of the sustainability and well-being challenges we face in cities. We worked hard, but we did it in a workplace full of natural light, fresh air, sunshine, physical activity, good food, and stimulating conversation. We learned from the wisdom of past generations. Who needs sustainability consultants when you've got nonners? In this simple bottle of Passata is the solution to so many of our problems. We've learned tonight that when you find your Passata, you won't be afraid to get stuck in because it will further your agenda, it will further our agenda, and it will make our city more sustainable. And what else did we learn? Passata's made by people, Dolmia's is made by robots. So whatever it is for you, bikes, food trucks, art, awesome, there'll be someone in this room who shares your passion. Try to find them, and if you can't, contact me at Sisterhood.